You've tackled some more challenging, more powerful issues. The police brutality episode obviously is the one that sort of got the most attention. You felt it was incredibly important for the show to do, but you've also said that you were terrified to sort of go there.
You know, we're still a nascent show. You know what I'm saying? My success is still, at this level, still very new. You know, I remember when Arsenio got canceled. I don't want to be the one who, you know, say something and fuck my career up. But at the same time, one of the things about that episode, it was, people called it the Black Lives Matter episode, and it really was not.
And you never, purposely never actually used those words. I've never said those words. Not that I don't support that movement, but I personally believe, like, you know, it's all lives matter, and I, you know, that's where my head is at. But I feel like one of the episode was really, we're living in this world where there's so many images and things that our kids can't be escaped from. And you have to learn how to talk to your kids about this. Police brutality is one that, for me in particular, I had to have that conversation with my young sons because they did not understand why the protesters were mad. They love police cars. They love this. And I didn't want my personal feelings about the police, and my wife has different feelings about it. So I was like, how do we have this conversation? And I kind of think that was why I wanted to do it, was to say, we're in this world where there's stuff with politics right now, there's stuff with sexuality, there's stuff with, you know, everything. And how do you have these kind of talks with your kids and not let our experiences sort of scorch the earth for them? But at the same time, I don't want to tell my kids to not be aware that police brutality exists, because they're young Black men and they may have some experiences. So it was sort of walking that fine line.
It's been all over the news.
It's the one where they shot the kid in the middle of the street, right?
That was Chicago.
Oh, is this the guy that got shot in front of the college at the traffic stop?
No, that was Charleston.
No, Charleston was the unarmed guy who got shot in the back. Cincy was the traffic stop.
Oh, wait, then what was New York?
Oh, New York was the unarmed guy who was selling cigarettes. They got choked.
Cigarettes?
Yeah, this is the unarmed guy who was selling DVDs. They got tased 37 times.
Wow, is he okay?
He got tased 37 times. So, you know, he's not great.
There were pieces of that, images that you still couldn't show.
Do you guys have S&P?
We only have it in terms of products. We just have to clear everything within an inch of his life, but we have no standards.
So you couldn't do Twin Towers.
That's what S&P, it wasn't the, well, the one we had network mandate. I mean, ABC is still a very, very big corporation. They have been unbelievably supportive. Like, they let us do whatever, but there were network mandates that existed before us. There's a famous picture from the Vietnam War of a little girl running who's just got her clothes napalmed off. It's a, you know, I think it won the Pulitzer. I mean, it was
Life magazine.
To me, that was like a iconic symbol of like the things that like are of our world. And they were like, that's not allowed. We couldn't show 9/11, the Twin Towers. And I'm like, everyone's seen the Twin Towers. We couldn't show the sign that says Sandy Hook.
Wow.
Could not be shown.
Wow.
What's the sign?
Were there points earlier in your careers where you felt either pigeonholed or you were acting so that you were not pigeonholed as writers?
I was the Black guy who wrote for Black guys. Really. That's what my show was actually created around. Originally, he's an ad executive now, but in the pitch, he was a television writer. You know, and it was often like, you know, as joke in the pilot, it would be like, how do you think a Black guy would say hello? And I'm like, you know, probably like that, but, you know, I'll check at the meeting, you know, and see what we're doing now. But, you know, and honestly, it's a very conversational show. We don't do a lot of jokes, and it's a room full of love, you know what I'm saying, and hate at times, but we always still like each other. But it's important if I say I'm freaked out by two dudes kissing, that we finally get to the end of it that I'm freaked out by a dude and a girl kissing too out loud. You know? That wouldn't have happened unless we went through 2 hours of conversation. We like everyone to talk, but I do agree that it's important to let the writers who are sort of getting their feet know that they are not being judged.
Are there characters on television now or historically that you identify with?
Kevin Arnold for me, from Wonder Years, even though he was coming from a different time period, it was from a different culture, it was so much of all those insecurities he was going through, everything.
That was such a good show.
It was really beyond a good show. You're watching the Hollywood Reporter Comedy Showrunners Roundtable. Please subscribe to thehollywoodreporter.com.
We couldn't even, when we started the show, couldn't say nipple.
No.
We couldn't say nipple. We ended up saying nipular.